So now we'll be going over some questions and answer, because when a person is teaching and there is no feedback, then no learning took place. So right now we'll be doing some questions and answer. And the first question says, pituitary disorder can be due to either A says too much pituitary hormone secretion, too little pituitary hormone secretion, too much or little pituitary hormone secretion, tumor of the pituitary gland. So which is the correct answer? We all know that pituitary disorder can be due to too much or little pituitary hormone secretion. So pituitary disorder, which is when there is a tumor like pituitary adenoma, is going to cause either hypersecretion or hyposecretion. And hypersecretion of maybe a cortisol is going to cause Cushing'S syndrome. Why hypo is going to cause Addison disease. So note that pituitary disorder can be due to either too much or little pituitary hormone secretion. Now, the second question says, Cushing's syndrome occurs mostly A, when the body produces less cortisol. Okay. B, when the body hormone digests itself. C, when there is a tumor in the pituitary gland. And then when the body produces too much cortisol. In our definition of cortisol, we made mention that Cushing's syndrome is due to prolonged exposure to cortisol, which is a hormone released by the adrenal gland, specifically at the adrenal cortex, and it can be due to endogenous, which is the body producing excessive cortisol, or exogenous, which is taking some corticosteroid medication. And exogenous, what causes it is pituitary adenoma, to pituitary tumor, causing excessive secretion of this cortisol. So here the correct answer here is option C, which is when there is a tumor in the pituitary gland causing this secretion of this cortisol. Option D looks like a good answer, but is what they said. Cushing's syndrome occurs mostly due to what? Due to when there is a tumor in the pituitary gland. So option C is the correct answer. The next question says, all of the following are signs and symptoms of Cushing's syndrome or Cushing diseases except. Okay, so the first option says increased fat in the neck. Okay, option B says skin bruising without injury. And then C says excessive sweating, and D says memory loss. So I'm going to give you guys some moments to decide what answer do you think is the correct answer for this question. We all know that from the signs and symptoms we mentioned earlier in our other videos, we mentioned that there is going to be increased fat deposition in the face, causing moon face, which is rounded and puffy face, and there's going to be fat deposition at the neck, at the back and in the neck, and there's going to be central obesity due to fat deposition in the belly. So option A is a correct answer. And then B, there's going to be skin bruising. Yes, there's going to be skin bruising without injury, which makes option B as the correct answer also. And then option C, we're going to come back to that. Option D, we all know that there's going to be memory loss. Yeah, there's going to be memory loss because this cortisol is going to lead to cognitive difficulty, which is lack of concentration, insomnia, anxiety, and all that. So there's going to be memory loss, there's going to be cognitive difficulty, which makes option D a correct answer too. And then, which leaves us with option C. We all know that there is no excessive sweating in Cushing's syndrome. So option C is the exception. So except is option C, making option C our correct answer for this question. Thank you. See you guys in our next class. Hope you stay tuned and also watch our video. Make sure you watch from Cushing's syndrome 1 to this part, please, for more understanding. Thank you.